Good morning. I am here to talk to you about the second part in our mini series, Engaging Social Posts for Your Ideal Art Buyer. And the purpose of today's video is to help you figure out how to put together an ideal art buyer profile in a way that will actually make a difference for your business. So it's not about what their eye color is or what their favorite food is. It's about what they want most in the world and how you can help them to get it. I have a little helper today because he's a little sick guy. Say hi, Teddy. Okay, so we're going to just do a quick little review from last week about why a profile is important. With your ideal art buyer profile, it solves a lot of problems. Like if you can't figure out why you are unique, if you've been trying to figure that out for a while, this takes that away. The way that you talk about yourself and the way that you talk about your art and the specificity, is that a word? in which you market yourself, that becomes your why you are unique. Let's say, for example, you're marketing chicken. You could say, we have the best chicken, come try it. Or you could say, our batter is Southern style and we make it extra crispy so you never have to bite into a piece that you're wondering if it's all the way cooked again. The first one tries to talk to everybody. The second one talks to people who like really crispy chicken, who are scared of salmonella and won't eat anything that isn't well done. If you give the same message to everybody, the first one, no one's going to really be interested in your chicken because it doesn't have anything special about it. The second is talking to someone very specifically about their wants and their needs and their desires about their chicken. So if you are someone who loves extra crispy chicken, you're going to think, okay, I need to make it a point to put it on my lunch list of places to go. The first one, you'll probably never get around to going. The third problem it solves is it really helps you know what to talk about without sounding like a total phony and just, spewing out stuff to try to randomly attract people to want to buy your art. You actually know how to talk to someone like they're a friend, like they're someone that you know and you specifically want to show them how your art is a good fit for them. It becomes more of a genuine, caring type of marketing than a hey, buy my stuff type of marketing. The third problem it solves is giving you a really clear picture what you should be talking about. This doesn't mean that you are fitting yourself into someone else's mold. In fact, it's completely the opposite. It is fitting everything about you and what you care about, what inspires you, your interests, people that you like to be around into your own unique mold, and then talking to those people. So as we go through this profile, you will start to understand a little bit more about what I mean. So let's just go ahead and get started. When you have a profile of the type of person you're trying to sell to, your marketing can get much less generic. Here are a couple of things that I see on artist websites over and over and over, and they're not bad. They don't speak to anyone in particular, and they don't draw people in, and so you're probably seeing really low, they're called conversion rates. That might mean whether you are converting them from a viewer to a buyer or a viewer to someone who hopped on your email list to learn more. Whatever that is, it's taking them from one step to the next step. So if the way you talk about things isn't compelling to someone, they're probably not going to take the next step in wanting to learn more. So here are a few of the things that are really common on artist websites that I see often. Become a VIP and get the latest news before anyone else. Okay, but why? Why should I do that? Do I want to be a VIP? Does that mean you're going to email me all the time? What kind of news are you going to send me? I don't even know if I want news from you. These are the kind of things that go through people's heads. Connect with your love of nature and bring joy into your home by purchasing a painting. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with this one, but I'd say at least 50% of artist websites that I go to say some version of this. Usually it's either color or nature are the two biggies, and bringing joy into your home. That is what people want, but it's not enough. You have to go a step further into knowing why they want to bring joy into their home, what brings them joy, those types of things. When you are talking about what kind of things you have available, and you just name them all. I'm available for custom work. I have prints and originals for sale in my shop. Okay, well that doesn't really give me any direction where to go, and that kind of tells me you do all the things, and I don't really know what you do because you do so many things, and think them out. You don't want to lose people over stuff like that. You want to know what they want so you can get specific. Here are some examples of the same types of things when you know who you are talking to. So instead of sign up and become a VIP so you can get more news from me, you can say, are you tired of your beige walls? Maybe they are a homemaker who has never really had any money to spend on their stuff, and now, their kids are out of the house and they have a little extra spending money and they want to make their place look more like them. So if you can help them with that problem, they're going to be much more likely to want to hear from you. Choose which color scheme you love most, and I'll email you a collection of my paintings to match it. Hey, you're already taking care of them. That sounds good. I want that. I'll sign up for that, right? The memories attached to the simple objects in these collages will remind you of cherished loved ones in your past. This is a very specific thing. It is a lot more specific than you'll get joy, you'll experience nature in your home, or you will see your walls will be more colorful. Whatever the last example was exactly, I forget. This person that I pulled this example from, we will actually be creating the profile from for our example in our video today. But she creates collages of lots of different objects that people give her, and her paintings are really about loss and remembering and connecting and all of these really specific problems that she is solving, where that is something that they want most in their life, is to really feel connected with other people. So in this case, they are feeling really connected with the cherished loved ones that have passed on, and they want to be able to remember them and deal with that loss. Something like this will help your viewer know that that is what you are about, and that will help them automatically start connecting with you better when you can start talking about things like this. As opposed to, I have custom work, prints, and originals. If you can tell them one specific thing you're working on right now, it doesn't have to be a thing that you do for the rest of your life, just for a right now period of time. When you can talk about what you are doing now they will be able to start visualizing it better and say, that is something I'm interested in. If you are making trios of 2 by 3 inch paintings, you can say these paintings placed above your vanity will remind you to start your day with confidence and grace. Maybe this person's ideal art buyer has problems remembering that, you know, they are worthy and they are deserving of all these good things that they want out of the world, but they feel like, you know, they're not good enough, or they don't have enough to share with the world, and they need a reminder. When you pop up in their feed and say, hey, put these paintings above your vanity, and they will remind you to start your day with confidence and gratitude, that's going to immediately grab someone's attention. And then they're going to want to learn more. They're either going to go to your website or dig through your social media posts or join your email list. That is moving them closer to buying your art. And that is the point of all of this. So, how do we do this? Glad you asked. First, we're going to look for clues in the details. So, sorry, hold on. Okay, so what I mean by that is you are going to go to the notes packet that I sent you, and if you don't have that, you can sign up for that above this video or below this video, depending on where you're watching it. Look around, it'll be a big box or a link, and I will send you a packet of notes. In those notes is a template for a mind map, and we are going to go over our example person for today. I will show you how I did it, and then you can make your own. Like I said, notes packet. So you're going to take you and 3 of your closest friends, and you are going to mind map out all of these topics that I've given you. You're going to do short little bursts per bubble. So it's almost like having bullet points that you can just scan. And by the time you're done, you're going to have kind of your whole philosophy on art and business and your personality and your interests. And you're going to see this big picture, and you're going to be able to start pulling out clues. It's going to look, your template is going to look something like this. Okay, we've got your art, the subject of your art, the style of your art, the process that you go through to create your art, your favorite thing about your art, how you like to sell your art, your skills, your interests, your worldviews, your day, your personality. You are going to spend some time filling this out. The more time you spend, the more clues you're going to have. So let me speed you through this process really quickly. Okay, so now that you have your mind map all filled out, it's going to look something like this. Subject. The subject of Karen was my volunteer, is assemblages and memories of people and ephemera giving meaning and telling a story. And just break it down as far as you can on every single little piece of these. From your art, You want to do your style, what they all mean. Go through the whole process. And then we are going to go to the next step. Okay, so this little profile is also in the notes packet. It starts off with, I just wish I could, the thing they want most. You did this in your homework last week. So you're going to start piercing your profile together using the fairy godmother wish you put together after the last video. Just a quick reminder, our process was we went through the 1 to 3 closest friends of yours, and you imagined that a fairy godmother came down and gave them one wish. That wish went in this form. I just wish I could. Usually it involved getting more money or more time so that they can. The important part of this is the so that they can. You want to pull it down to its smallest bits. I will show you how I did this with Karen really quick. Let's start with wants to make a bigger impact on the world, or on the environment. Why does she want to have an impact on the environment? How would that make her life better? Basically, it all comes down to she wants to take care of people.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a good.
And that kind of showed up all in her personality as well.
I agree with that.
Now what we're doing is kind of deciding which direction we want to go with this. Would you feel more connected to the idea of people who are looking for more security or wanting to take care of other people? I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let you answer it.
I probably want to take care of more people. Yeah, the second one.
Okay, and I feel like that is a pretty good reflection of the mind map that we kind of broke down.
Okay.
Because you are talking about people and making sure they're not forgotten and honoring them, and what were some of the other parts of that? You care about your family. You're good at staying in touch with people. You like networking. People are important to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Okay, so next, now that you've done that, you're going to go back to your mind map, and you are going to find the pieces of it that light you up. The ones that you get really excited about, the things that if you took that part away, you wouldn't feel like yourself anymore. And you're going to highlight those. You're going to highlight things about your best friends that are characteristics that are opposite from you, but that draw you to each other. You are going to highlight things that you often have in common with other people. These are parts of her that you couldn't take away. Once you have the things highlighted that are the most important, you're going to go through and go back to your profile. And you're going to start filling out this part. This is the second most important part of your profile. Okay. You're going to start with your I just wish I could, the thing they want most. And then you're going to go back to your profile and you are going to find those highlighted things and see how you can make it fit together with this I just wish I could. In Karen's case, one of the most important parts of her art was that she wanted to speak to the subject of loss in her work. So if they just wish they could be connected to the people around them, then remembering and honoring their loved ones and helping them deal with that loss, that fits with being connected with the people around them. The repurposed objects in her art were often the things that she liked to have conversations with other people about. That was how she personally connected with people who were interested in her art, who were buying her art. She would, if there was a thimble in her piece of art, she would talk about her memories, and then they would share their memories, and they would have this shared connection over this inanimate object, and that helped her buyers feel more connected to her and her more connected to them. And it's all over this silly little thimble in her artwork, but that is a piece of her. That is part of what she wants to share with the world. And that is what we were just talking about. Okay, cut that out. And then you're going to go through and you are going to find the things that you would have in common with someone who felt all of these things. We're going to compare that to her profile now and see if that fits her ideal art buyer profile. So if family is important to her, would family be important to this person? Of course, definitely. So we are going to put that in this section, the Hey Me Too section. Doesn't matter why we're putting them in these sections. It does, but I will get to that in the next video. Emotion-based decisions. The reason we put that is because she told me that her husband was not really, he's very supportive of her art, but he doesn't really get it. And the reason we decided that he doesn't get it is because he has a very logical mind. He doesn't really make emotion-based decisions. She does. So in order for someone to connect with her art, if they make logic-based decisions, they're really not going to be interested. So we knew it had to have the opposite. They had to make emotion-based decisions. A big piece of her worldview is that everyone is different, and that should be celebrated. And the connection, creating connections between people will bring the world closer together and make it a better place. She's not really into the idea that differences are boundaries. Instead, she is into the idea that differences can bring people closer together. And when you look at the thing that they want most, they want to be connected to people, that makes sense for them. So that is something that she could talk about with them. This is the second most important piece of the puzzle. And this is what we're really focusing on today. How you can help them or make their day better. You are going to go through, look at these things that you've highlighted, and compare each highlighted thing with your I just wish I could. Is there any way that that highlighted thing could enhance their I just wish I could? If it does, put it in. If it doesn't, not important. Leave it out. The third most important thing was the Hey Me Too's. Look through and see what you think you might have in common with someone who would be interested in your art. Maybe it's the subject. Maybe it's your favorite thing about the art. Maybe it is your worldview or your personality or your interests. Put down, oops, baby breasts and things. Put down 4 to 6. Hey, me too's. Next step. We are going to add opposite personality traits from your closest friends that make sense with what you have so far. Okay, so under their personality, you're going back to the mind map. What are things about your best friends that draw you to each other? What are the things that make you really fall in love with each other? Whether it's a loving romantic relationship or a friendship, either way. Oftentimes, the people that you are attracted to will have opposing parts of their personality and your personality. For example, Karen's husband, in her words, keeps her grounded and she gives him wings. That was one of the big things that attracts them to each other. Another thing that attracts them to each other is he likes to think about it and plan, while she likes to jump right in and do it. So when you're doing your profile, you will pull these things in. Because if you can attract people who have those opposing personalities, it's like you're a puzzle that is starting to fit together. You make them better and they make you better. And that creates a good relationship for someone who long term will be interested in you and your art and what you have to say. So all of these were pulled from either her best friend or her husband. We only did 2 people for her. You can do 3 or 1, however you like to do it. We've done the important part. The rest of this, creating a story around what you know so far, is just so you can really feel like they are a real person. Each piece of the story should support what you have so far. It'll either tie back into the I just wish I could or the how I can help them. The beautiful thing about this is the story behind the profile is just the creative portion. So the demographics and maybe a few of their interests and their average day, that is the story that you are creating. So her ideal art buyer profile could have been this guy, this woman, this girl. These are all pictures of my people, by the way. I love them all. But it doesn't have to be. It could be hundreds of different profiles. Why that is a good thing and not a confusing thing is because, one, this makes it more of a creative project, so it's more fun. But if all of 3 of these people have the same I just wish I could and are interested in the how she can help them, it doesn't really matter what their story is. These 3 people would all want to buy her art. What matters is the part of the profile that we've already done. Like I said, this part is just to make sure that they become a real person to you. So it helps you be able to talk to them in a more genuine, connecting sort of way. So let's go back to her profile really quickly. And I will read you the story part that we created for Karen's ideal art buyer. She is a veteran, a Navy nurse. She now works in an assisted living center. She wants to be connected to people around her and feel remembered and remember those close to her who are now gone. She's in her 30s and 40s. She has 2 young children, twins, a boy and a girl. She's married, but he is still in the military and deployed. She still wants to feel close to her husband, even though he's not here. Her mom lives nearby and helps watch the kids while she is at work. Her father passed away when she was a child. Another reason why she wants to have a close relationship with those who are gone. On her average day, she's able to work part-time thanks to her husband's income 3 days a week. And on the days that she is not working, she gets home in time. Sorry, on the days she is working, she gets home in time to cook a quick dinner and read and put the kids to bed. So that really is not her ideal lifestyle. She doesn't so much care about the money, she cares about the time. So instead of working 5 days a week, she works 3 days a week and makes sure on her off days she spends purposeful time with her kids. She cooks new foods, she lets them help, and she takes care of her household needs because everyone has to do that. Once in a while, she'll take the kids out to spend time together. They do things like going to museums where they can look at old relics and old quilts or old paintings. Sometimes they'll take the train to visit her husband's parents on the weekends. She likes to feel connected to them as well. Her interests and skills also connect back to her, I just wish I could be connected to the people around her. She's into family heirlooms. She decorates with them. She doesn't care if they're newly introduced or from the past, but each object in her home has a special meaning. She likes to knit blankets and she donates them to shelters, and her family is also well stocked. She takes care of the people she loves, and she also has a very caring heart and likes to take care of other people as well. She likes to cook different types of cuisines because she's interested in other cultures and people who are different from her, and she wants to be more connected to the world around her, and that is one way that she can do that. So if you can see how each piece of this fits back into the I just wish I could. It starts to, 1, create a story, and 2, help you learn what to talk about with them. I'm going to give you a bigger homework assignment than I normally do. Normally, I will give you a tiny little bite-sized piece of homework. Today, I'm giving you a chunk because I want you to start moving your art business forward. And the way to do that is by finding people who will genuinely connect with your art and connect with your message and connect with you. That is why they will want your art. So, I want you to go back to the last video if you haven't done the homework yet. Figure out their I just want to, and then, I just wish I could. And then go and create your mind map using the notes in the template that I provided, and then start creating your ideal art buyer profile in the notes template that I provided. I know that you can do this. If you have any questions, you can put them in the Facebook group, and I will see you next week to figure out how to use this profile to authentically and genuinely connect with those people using your social media accounts. So, I will see you then. So, if this is something that you are loving and you know you want more of, I have a full program where I will be teaching this to you in an even more extended way with lots of individual feedback and help and assistance and a no artist left behind policy. So if you want help putting all of this together, I recommend signing up for the full program. It will also give you an extensive knowledge of what to post on social media with a very clear plan telling you what to post exactly each day, so you can combine your ideal art buyer profile with the steps that they need to continue the buying process from you.